Hello. So, I had somebody ask me on about one of my YouTube videos about where I'd used this ribbon cable to hook up the Adafruit 2.8 TIFF breakout board to a Mega. I had planned on going ahead and firing it up and showing you that it worked, but you can see on my other videos that it works. I went to upload the original firmware, and apparently all the code's broken now. This is a project that I haven't visited for, I think, 2 or 3 years. So all my code was broken in the newer Arduino IDEs, and I didn't feel like going through and rewriting them just for a show off. I will have to do it now that I realize that it's all broken, because this is for a customer's PC, which he loved, he paid for, and then long after he retired the PC, I ended up getting it back. There's the only reason why I even have it now to show you. So without further ado, let me show you how I did this. So I made my own little shield, essentially, is all I did. And, come on, there we go. Just a clone Mega. So, on the Arduino, well, rather, on the Adafruit breakout board, it has 20 pins. Has 20 pins, which just happens to be the exact amount of pins on a standard PC IDE cable. If you use the side that doesn't have the notch missing, you have 20 pins in a row, which, you know, as you can see, will plug right into the screen in this orientation. Then on the other side, you'll see here that you have 20 pins here too, on just the top side. So basically, I just use half of it. I don't use the full 40. I just use 20 or half of the pins. Get in focus. Half of the pins. So here's the board that I made. Obviously, this does way more than just the LCD. This actually controlled a PC and cooling fans and a whole slew of other things, LEDs and SD card for some of the graphics and whatnot. But it's pretty simple. All I really did was just get some long headers. Like this thing here is female headers with extra long pins that stick all the way through the back. Go all the way through so I could plug it onto the Mega, just like so. And then I just, if you can see here, obviously it has a weird spacing. Actually, these don't. These are pretty close. I just kind of bent them into place to where they would fit into the correct slots. The breakout board uses most of the pins on the very back row of the header, except for a couple of analog pins. So all I really did was get a female header pins that go all the way through, and then some standard headers, which this is a standard header. I just removed the plastic piece. I would solder them in first and then remove the plastic piece so I had more room that holds them all upright. And then you can pretty much see that I kind of did it the homebrew DIY way. I just ran wire from the header ports, which are just soldered and connected to the pins, if you can see that in the camera, and routed them to the correct place that they needed to be. A lot of these are just jumpers that carry power and stuff to different locations. So it's just wires that all run to the header pins to the correct place, and it's kind of a big wiring nightmare spaghetti mess, but it does work quite well. So that's really all I did. I just used up, just some Radio Shack, standard Radio Shack, this proto board. I actually used 2 of them here. You can actually see where there's 2 different pieces, and I've just kind of soldered them together to make one big piece, because that was all they had at the time. And I was impatient and didn't want to wait for the flea bait stuff to get here. But yeah, there's a few extra stuff here that I used for the SD card plugged into the top. But yeah, I just ran wires to all these just standard header pins. I made my joints on the bottom where I could, and where they needed to reach really far, I just ran wires. You can see I grabbed the power from one side of the header, run it along, and it meets that pin right there. and then a ground wire comes around, reaches the ground, and all the different data pins go where they need to go. A lot of the pins you can, well, I mean, like I said, all the pins for this particular LCD are all at the bottom, so except for a couple of analog stuff for the touchscreen, which you can see a couple of wires that route up here and meet down at the pins. But then you just plug in your IDE cable into it and into your screen, and just keep track of this white wire right here so you know which side is which, and pretty much they go in, you know, pretty straightforward, just like this. So if you have any questions, just let me know. Alright.